Hey, it's me, Stephen Bean here, coming at you from the north. And I am in day two of a morning 1 mile walk. 1 mile walk, minimum, at least a mile. Getting ready for my cruise with Lovely Loca on NCL Encore, sailing out of Vancouver and hitting interest points throughout Alaska, and one stop in Canada being Victoria, BC, which I haven't visited or haven't been to since over 30, maybe 31 years ago. So it'd be neat to see that city again. And it's 9 something in the morning right now, and I was planning on going out even earlier today, but you're kind of lounging around, chilling out. But even at 9 something in the morning, it's gotten quite hot. All right, so my timing is a bit off. I'm telling the time. It is just before 8 bells, a few minutes before 8 o'clock. And I am just going to peek through this lot here of a house that's not being used. And I'm going to check out the view. There's that island that I'm always photographing, always showing. And here we have a tree growing inside a boat. One time that was a neat little boat, eh? We always see these prestigious yachts on YouTube or whatnot, and sometimes it's just a small boat that catches your eye. Why not? So with the group cruise, I'm going to head a walking group. And what we're going to do is we're going to meet in the mornings and do 8 walk around the track. If you do 8 turns around the track, you get a mile in. So now I can easily walk a mile, but I want to get a good brisk walk in. Also, modify it because maybe not everyone in the group is able-bodied, so it's all good. We'll make it very inclusive for everyone. What a view. What a view. Yeah, sometimes it pays to get up to have a morning walk, eh? So, when I'm gone on my holiday on the cruise ship, Madonna and Elvis Presley will be boarded up. They'll be kenneled at a, that sounds better. Boarded up, sounds like a boarded up house. They'll be staying in a kennel in the city south of here in Prince Albert, so they'll be fine. And I'm wearing my shirt from one of my favorite movies. I'm sure you could guess which one. And I had a shirt very similar to that. It was my Frasier TV shirt, and I'm trying to find it just because I am going to be in Seattle, and Frasier was one of my favorite shows from the 90s. I never got into Friends. Seinfeld was okay. I never got into it. Maybe I'll start watching it on Netflix while I'm on my summer holidays. Oops, like a fly hit my neck. Anyways, so The Big Lebowski, eh? That was quite the movie. Love that movie. Alrighty, and I quite like this. This was put up last year. Last year we had, the old one was rotted, and it was nice though. It had a nice design. It was round, and but it was rotted. And there's the beach. This is the beach where yesterday I was walking by. I must have counted 25 kids in there, and they were enjoying that swim. I'm sure they'll be back today because today it's beautiful weather. Well, I'm enjoying my new Skechers shoes that I ordered online, and they're doing a good job on my feet. I sometimes there's a line between being frugal, being cheap. Well, if you're holding on to running shoes for over 3 years, which I've been doing, that's kind of being cheap because, running shoes have a shelf life. And, I explained this before on my old channel. I had a YouTube channel called The Fat Hiker. You could look it up, but I haven't put anything on it forever just because I don't know how to log on to it anymore. You get a new phone and all of a sudden everything changes. You need your ID and nothing matches. So maybe I'll start a new one. That Fat Hiker returns. Who knows? But go check it out. Another channel that I haven't touched upon in a long time is called The Three Deadbeats, where when I was living in Saskatoon a few years ago, I would meet with a couple other guys on Fridays, and we'd pick a spot and we'd have a little feed on a Friday afternoon. So that was fun, and that we were getting kind of recognized. There was a time when we'd walk into these places and people would recognize us as the Three Deadbeats. So check that out. Alrighty, so I'm doing a side street that I don't think I've posted on my walks before. This building front was built probably quickly and maybe not planned out so well. So this is supposed to have been a church, evangelical type of church that basically probably never got off the ground. And maybe this was, I don't know, maybe a school bus I'm not sure, that was part of the church. I'm only kind of imagining. So, or maybe it's a Partridge Family school bus. Pretty cool looking school bus. But was that just supposed to have been picked up people to take them to church? I don't know. And yeah, I've never been on this path before. I never have. I've been in Sandy Bay 5 years. And school bus had better days. Oh, I can't show too much of the back of the church. There's some pretty colorful words and graffiti sprayed on it. So gotta be careful not to show such words. It's not very nice. So here is one of the little mini water filtration plants, but one of the outposts of water filtration plants. I live right near the main one. So the one I live near is a lot larger than this. And this might be, I don't know, what is it called, a pump house? I'm not too sure. But that's where water gets treated for this area of Sandy Bay. And there's a couple of them around the area. But the main one is right next to my house. Right next to my teacherage. Well, where I live, we call it teacherages because they're either a trailer or a house and owned by the school division. And you get a really good break if you're a new teacher to the north. They give you a really good break. The longer you stay, the more expensive it becomes. It's kind of odd because, you know, if you're trying to retain teachers in the north, why penalize them by raising rent? You know, you should be rewarding them for staying in the north, because a lot of people come here for a couple of years and they head south again. And it makes sense to reward them. Like, that's what I would do. But it's not done that way, oddly enough. Will that change? I hope so. Oh, there's a dog. I'm not sure what he's barking at. So, what I would say is to retain northern teachers, give them breaks. Well, we're probably giving some breaks, but, you know, more breaks the better. And why not? I would, you know, for example, I would reward the teachers for staying longer by lowering the rents as a reward, and maybe even doing complimentary lawn service and snow removal where the teachers are staying. Makes sense to me. This is a nice walking area. Now, all these little alleys, and Sandy Bay is a small place, but you know, sometimes it's good to get off the beaten path. There's not too many there's not too many paths that are unbeaten, but you know, we're creatures of habit. You're always making a walk. So for my Alaskan cruise, there's a lot of excursions that allow people to come up close to huskies, eagles, and bears. Well, in the last week, I have seen huskies, eagles, and bears just living here. You know, yeah, I was driving into Flin Flon the other day, and a beautiful big black bear just crossed the road, slowed down, and it looked at me and it ran off into the bush. It's funny. It's these beautiful animals, this kind of, they dart out the road and then all of a sudden they go back in the bush. And if you walk by 3 seconds later, you'd have no idea that a bear had just passed the area. Eagle. Well, an eagle flew over my car. Same trip to Pelican. I often see eagles. There's an area past Pelican Narrows, which is a village, next village to us. And huskies, well, I'm in Sandy Bay. A lot of the dogs here have husky in them. Now, I know that when I get back to my teacherage, I'm going to have done over a mile Who's this little? Oh, here we go. They have met before. So, or maybe they haven't. I'm not too sure. I know who the owner is, but I'm not too sure if they've met before. Anyways, come on, guys, let's go. Oh, they're stubborn. They don't want to go. I'll give them a couple more moments. And these are teetriches here. They look a lot different from my trailer, but the heating in those homes, I believe, is electric, which is very expensive. But then again, the fuel bill that I got this past winter put me in the poorhouse. It put me in the poorhouse. I was putting money away. Also, on top of that, and finally at the end of the year, the money that I was putting away, that I was intending over 3 years, I called it quits after 10 months. But I tell you, it was nice to get that money. That paid off a lot of bills. And I put some of that money into savings. And some of the money I used it to purchase items that I needed or heavily wanted. So it's all good. It's a hobby. Now I was just reminded that it's Monday. Having the summer off. I wasn't too sure what day it is, but yesterday I did attend church, which is out by the shrine. There's a Marian shrine out by the airport, and that was nice. It was good to see people and whatnot. I'm not as deeply faithful as I used to be. I used to get caught up in all the rules and all that stuff, so I kind of relied less on rules and maybe more on spirituality, and I have a bit of a laissez-faire approach to that, and that doesn't bother me. But it was good to connect. I like going. I like hearing the readings. Do I believe in everything that I believed when I was younger? No. Do I benefit from going and listening to the readings? Yes. So if you follow my videos, you probably have an idea where I am now. So on the right here is the church. Our Lady of Seven Sorrows, Catholic Church. And next to it is the school in Sandy Bay, Hector Thibodeau Community School. And across the street from the school is the restaurant formerly known as Chung's. And it's a restaurant that sells basic foods also. So it's kind of like a restaurant / mini store. I do miss, during pre-COVID, they'd have tables set up so you could go in there, sit down, and enjoy your meal. But it's been a couple of years since you've been able to do that. Now the restaurant is owned by a very nice family. Both are sisters with their husbands. They have the restaurant here, and they're from northern China. And they're from a region, northern China, that's right next to this north of North Korea. So they're Korean Chinese, and very friendly people. And having lived in a few places in Asia, I lived a lot of places. I lived in Singapore, I lived in South Korea, I lived in Kuwait, lived in Eritrea, New Zealand, Australia. So like 6 countries I've spent at least a year plus in. And, you know, it doesn't matter what color your skin is or what faith you practice. We're all in it together. And if you have an issue, grab a tissue. All right, I'm just going to turn up this road. This road here goes towards my teacherage. This road, if you walk it all the way to the end, goes to the airport, Sandy Bay. Now, the airport is very simple. It's a very simple airport that takes in small propeller planes, usually for medical purposes, but it's a quiet morning. I'm just doing the extra route just to add on the steps. You know, I'd like to do 10,000 steps, and right now is a good time because it's not so hot out. It's going to get hotter, and by Wednesday it's supposed to be quite hot. But right now it's not. It's warm, nice and warm. Shorts and t-shirt, it's delightful. And oh, I showed you this here before. This is where I lived my first maybe month and a half when I came to Sandy Bay. This was the place where I lived. Number 2 it's called. Right now it's empty, but right now it's used for workers coming in, working for a school division. You know, people come in like painters or plumbers, electricians, or high-tech people working on our computers at the school. They stay at places like this. And yeah, it's quite nice. I liked it there, but I liked it. It comes with a cellar, but unfortunately it'd be expensive to heat up. Here, this is another teacherage. The occupant had just left this teacherage after over 20 years being in there. That must have been sad leaving then. Teacherage here. This is apartments. Does anyone from the school live there? No. But being used by a couple of people that work with Sask Power. And this house here and the house next to it are teacherages housed by teachers. All right, folks. Well, I know that by the time I get home, I'll have over a mile done. Basically, from my teacherage to the school here is like 800 steps, right? But I went way past the school, not too far way past. You know, Sandy Bay is not a big place, but I did the dip here, and by the time I get home, it'll be over a mile, and it'll be good. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, do so if you like being in pain. Oddly enough, if you actually enjoy my videos, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I'm going to use school Wi-Fi to upload this video, just because the Wi-Fi at my place is slower than molasses on a February morning. All right, anyways, thanks for watching, and keep on rocking in the free world.